While relieving himself in the wilderness, an old man accidentally discovered something hidden in the grass. Peeking through, he saw what seemed to be a small bird. No, it had furry wings. It looked like both a bird and a person at the same time. Adorable. The old man immediately felt affection for it and wished he could adopt it. He shouted to the sky a few times, "Does anyone want a bird?" After confirming that no one answered, he happily took the bird-like creature home. His wife, Sua, was both surprised and delighted. Although they didn't know what species it was, she quickly took a fruit plate, laid down a cloth, and made a little nest for it. The couple had been married for many years but had never had children. Just a few days ago, they had prayed to the heavens, hoping to be blessed with a child. "Well, it doesn't matter whether it's a person or a bird," the old man said. "It's quite cute." So the couple decided to adopt it as their own child and named it Yanami. Sua picked up the little creature, and it eagerly sucked on her finger. Obviously, Yanami was starving. Sua quickly brought 500 milliliters of high-calcium milk and fed it 2 large bottles. Finally, the little thing fell asleep peacefully. That night, the old man suddenly remembered that the child didn't have any clothes. The next day, Sua cut up the fabric from a doll's outfit and made a brand new pretty dress for Yanami. The old man even dismantled a tricycle and an old suitcase, handcrafting a baby carriage for her. The elderly couple could finally take Yanami out for a stroll on their farm. However, Sua was careful to keep her hidden. If people discovered her wings, it would be a big problem. Unexpectedly, just one night later, the little thing grew dozens of times larger. She started hopping around, occasionally flapping her wings as if she wanted to fly. She also developed an odd habit, squatting on the chicken coop, watching the chickens closely, and mimicking their sounds. Seeing this, Sua began trying to teach her how to speak like a human. But strangely, while Yanami could mimic the sounds of chicks and ducklings perfectly, she couldn't say simple words like mama. All day long, she only chattered in an unintelligible bird language. Although Yanami couldn't speak, she brought a lot of joy into the elderly couple's lives. Months passed, and the couple began noticing odd behaviors in their bird child. One day, while standing on top of a wardrobe, Yanami suddenly spotted a poisonous spider on the floor. Sua thought she was scared, but instead, Yanami leaped down and pounced on it. Before Sua could react, she swallowed the spider whole. From that moment on, Yanami lost interest in cooked food. No matter what Sua made, she refused to eat it. Worried about her health, Sua had no choice but to catch some live insects for her. When Yanami saw them, she happily gobbled them up, finding them delicious. Clearly, this little one was more like a bird than a person, but the couple didn't dislike her for it. One day, they took her to a restaurant to eat chicken stewed with mushrooms. However, just as they sat down, the chef walked past carrying a wild chicken. Instantly, Yanami's eyes widened and she started drooling. Fearing she would cause a scene, Sua quickly dragged her to the bathroom to hide. But when Sua opened the bathroom door a few minutes later, she was stunned. Only a pair of small red shoes remained on the toilet. Yanami had escaped. At that moment, Yanami was flying in the sky, soaring alongside a flock of geese. But this was her first time flying, and before long, she ran out of energy and fell. Fortunately, she landed on a soft bed, completely unharmed. The couple was extremely worried. Thinking she had flown north with the geese, they quickly boarded a train heading south to search for her. Meanwhile, in a distant town, a little girl stumbled upon Yanami in her room. Seeing the tiny creature with wings, the innocent girl assumed she was an angel. Although they couldn't understand each other's language, the two quickly became friends. The little girl brought Yanami eggs from home, sensing she was hungry. One day, the girl's father suddenly came upstairs. Panicking, she hid Yanami under the bed. Luckily, she wasn't discovered. In the following days, Yanami slowly mastered balance and flying. Soon, she could soar to the top of a 100-meter-tall tree with ease. That same day, after traveling the world searching for her, the elderly couple finally found her location. They were relieved to see her napping peacefully in the tree. They waited quietly for her to wake up, but in a moment of distraction, Yanami suddenly took off again, this time to play with a flock of wild ducks. Yanami, with her striking appearance, stood out among the wild ducks. The ugly ducklings flying alongside her immediately sensed she was different. Without hesitation, they turned on her and began attacking. Yanami, still inexperienced in flying, was quickly overwhelmed. She had no chance against the flock. Defeated, she fell. Luckily, she landed on the roof of a clock tower. Coincidentally, some town residents witnessed the entire scene. With an injured wing, Yanami was unable to fly and became trapped. The townspeople quickly called for a rescue team. Around the same time, the elderly couple arrived. The rescuer, Juan Mao, suffered from acrophobia and believed his fear had caused the mission to fail. Determined to make up for it, he joined the couple in their search for Yanami. Following the direction of the wild ducks, they ventured into the forest. Meanwhile, Yanami sat by a window, watching birds in the trees. She longed to be like them, free. Suddenly, gunshots rang out. Hunters were nearby, shooting at birds. The couple spotted a blue cloak falling into a well. It was the cloak Sua had made for Yanami. Fearing the worst, they rushed over and climbed down to search for her. But Yanami wasn't there. That meant she hadn't been hit. They quickly hopped on their donkey and, using an 8-power telescope, followed the birds in the sky. Their search led them all the way to the seaside. Through the telescope, Sua finally saw Yanami. But Yanami didn't notice them. Summoning all her strength, she flew toward the ocean, attempting to cross the Atlantic. Helplessly, the couple could only sit by the shore, praying for their little one's safety. But then, the thing they feared most happened. A powerful gust of wind blew Yanami straight into the sea. The old man, terrified, rushed into the ocean. Luckily, the waves carried Yanami back to shore. Though she had swallowed a few mouthfuls of seawater, she was unharmed. Once again, the couple brought Yanami home. Sua, overjoyed, danced around the house and prepared a feast of insects to celebrate. However, in the days that followed, Yanami seemed listless. One night, as she gazed out the window, watching birds fly freely in the sky, she grew restless. She wanted to leave, but the window blocked her way. Seeing this, Sua finally understood. Perhaps, more than their love, what Yanami needed most was freedom. The next day, the couple took Yanami to the edge of a cliff. Sua gave her one last kiss on the forehead. Then, with a strong toss, they set her free. Only in freedom can a child truly spread their wings and soar. If you like this video, then please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.